Yo, what's up guys, this is Happy No with another Guild Wars 2 PvP video, and this time with the Spellbreaker, showing you the, how to say it again, meta build with some minor changes to the utility skills and to the healing skill maybe later on. I will explain a little bit why I choose to play like this, and I will also show you other options how to play this build. Right now I'm testing the Signet of Stamina, because it allows you to have more Condi cleanse and to dodge more often, more frequent. And let's see here, let's see. We have Necros on both teams. Both seem to be core Necros, and therefore my goal will be this guy here. Auto attacking him a little bit. Okay, blocking a little bit to watch what they are playing. That's not so good. I'm gonna just apply some damage to this guy, stun him, pull him here. Damn it. My ally is not focusing this guy because it looks like he's a little bit squishier. I'm not getting the damage that I want. Here we go now. Dodging onto this guy. CC. Damage. He's dead. Easy clap. Nice one. This guy has his stability gone. Okay, I need to block now. Waiting for my Lich here to deal damage. Trying to stun him. He seems to be playing burning. Pulling him. Okay, so this guy's playing some weirdo burn guardian. 7200 with the F1 abilities, and with this hitting Arcing Slice, that's like the main damage source that you will have to finish off the enemy players. And I just have to say it again here, take your time. If you lose a game, swap around your utility skills. Don't just go in with the same if you see that it's not working. And now let's see if we focus the Guardian, what happens. Because I feel the Necro is a little bit slower. Here we go, blocking a little bit. Okay, nice one. He already wasted all his... You can see this here, I can remove this. Pulling this guy not. Yeah, I pulled him. Yeah, I pulled him. Blocking a little bit. That's great. Pulling him one more time now. The second stun, but my ally is not dealing any kind of damage, which is not so great. I have to waste this now. I need to avoid this stupid burn guardian. Oh shit. My ally is dealing not so much damage. I can revive myself here. I need to, yeah. My ally is too slow. My ally is too slow. This could be dangerous now. No, we will die here. Yeah. Never mind. This is stupid because he's playing Condi, and this guy will also just convert everything that I have. Just die. Just die, please. I mean, those people, if they don't team play, I'm getting focused by two people, he's not supporting me. He will not make it like this. So now that we lose this, oh my god, why those people just take so much time? The game is done. Okay, so now, because they are both playing Condi specs, I'm gonna swap my healing skill to the mending, and Signet of Stamina is not such a good option right now because I'm seeing Berserker Stance a little bit better here, and Bull's Charge seems also not to work so much, because they're both playing some Condi specs, and therefore it is better to have something with more burst, so I can, if I catch them once, I can deal more damage to them. So I'm swapping around with the build again, and you will see here the differences. Yeah, I'm saying also to focus this guy, but I wanted to see if we focus him. So now I have Condi cleanse, and resistance, and therefore with resistance and frenzy I will be able to burst down the enemy players quite a bit better here. Let's see. You can see this here, this guy already wasting his stuff. I dodged a few of the catching this guy, healing skill, blocking, and now with quickness. Oh my god, elite skill going on, auto attacking. He shouldn't be able to cleave this alone, and we get this. And now just so you can see it here one more time, the F1 ability Arcing Slice is your main damage source, and therefore you will deal quite a lot of damage with it, and you will still deal damage if you dodge onto those enemies here. Of course it depends on if you crit and how much might stacks you have, so your Arcing Slice can deal up to 7 and 9, 10k damage even, depending on really if you have 25 stacks of might, and if you crit it can deal heavy damage. And right now I can also show you here Berserker Amulet for more damage, the riskier type, and I'm staying with those utility skills because you can see it here, it works pretty nice. The Necromancer of the enemy team, he's too slow to charge his Reaper's form, his Shroud better said, and therefore I'm just freely able to damage him like this. Especially with Berserker Stance, the conditions are not affecting me, fear has no effect on me, and I'm just really able to, you can see this here, blocking in case that removing his stability, auto attack, pulling this guy now, pulling him, not pulling him, yes I pulled him, okay. And now you can see this here, I'm not wasting my Berserker Stance too early because I just need some time here. And this guy is dead as well. And now it's an easy game. Stunning. I will just try to stun this guy, dealing some damage. Oh, the blind is so annoying. F1. Pulling him. He has his stability up. F1. Staying onto his symbol. Stealing his boons, interrupting him one more time. Okay, I have him here. Oh, he just immobilized me, what a nice move. 5200 with he's not letting me do my 100 blades. Okay, top player kills. Let's see, I'm gonna show you here another game because this was not such a hard game to play. But meanwhile I will also just explain you a little bit the build and why you should play around. Now, the overall healing got nerfed from the warrior, and you should keep that in mind. Berserker Amulet is for the more advanced players. You will have less critical hit chance, but you will still hit harder. If you land your F1 Arcing Slice with a crit, you will deal massive damage, and that's what this build relies on. It is really important. Before the balance update it was not so important because you were dealing nice damage with your auto attacks and with your other attacks, but right now it is important to land your F1 abilities as much as possible because they are the main damage source here. And also if the enemy dodges the full counter, it is not so not such a huge thing, but if you land your Arcing Slice you will deal massive damage, and that's what counts here. Let's see. Just a second, I have to watch my phone. Okay, I'm ready to go. Let's go with the build. Basically go with Demolition's Amulet to begin with this. And Rune of the Strength is still my main rune here because it has the longer might duration, and with might and power you will crit more often. What I was also thinking of was the critical hit chance eagle, I guess. Eagle 1. Rune of the Eagle, Precision Ferocity, which means you will crit more and a 10% damage bonus to enemies under 50% HP. And this just allows you to have here a little bit more crit, and if you have your Berserker Stance here like this, oh no, this gives not, this gives no fury, but you have fury here, 8 seconds with the F1 arcing slice, which gives you 20% crit chance, and you will have an 81% crit chance, which is pretty huge and allows you to deal more damage. I'm even going to try this out here. You will lose the 5% damage bonus, but therefore you will crit more often, and I'm going to show it to you here on this second game if it starts. Then I'm using Luminous Dirk, Luminous Ward, and Luminous Claymore. Those skins are obtained by achieving the 4th and the 5th year anniversary on your account. So new players will not get that in time. You will need some more time to wait for this. And let's go ahead. I'm using the sigils here, Sigil of Absorption. Every 3 seconds if you interrupt someone, you will steal the boon. And especially as a Spellbreaker, you will steal twice. Not twice, but you will remove a boon and steal with this. Sigil of Energy, extra dodge, which means extra damage output and extra healing for yourself and extra survivability. It is not like really necessarily needed, but it works pretty fine for me. On the Greatsword I'm using Sigil of Courage with Sigil of Battle, and even now it is more needed like this. I was also thinking of removing Sigil of Courage for Sigil of Stagnation, but this just allows you to have some extra healing with the build, because the overall healing from the Spellbreaker got nerfed, and so it is better like this. The 4 stacks of Might grant you a huge power bonus, which allows you to immediately arcing slice enemy players with like 5-6 stacks of Might extra, and therefore deal more damage. And of course the healing synergy is pretty nice with this. Otherwise I would recommend Sigil of Courage for Sigil of Stagnation. This will cripple nearby foes when swapping to this weapon, and therefore it could be really nice against Necros, so they will be crippled and you will land your F1 ability on them. Now let's just test it out here, also to just show you what I'm explaining. Then the build is still the same: Strength, Discipline and Spellbreaker. On Strength, Peak Performance. This allows your Rampage to have a short cooldown and to give you damage bonus. Especially it is good to use when you have here Mending Healing skill, 16 seconds cooldown. It gives you damage bonus, condition removal, and it is pretty short cooldown. It heals for huge amount. It heals more than when you have the Signet, but the Signet has some other advantages over this one. The healing per second, when you kite around, it just heals you up, and it has a resistance that you can use for 6 seconds, which is also nice against county comps. Then the next one, Forceful Greatsword, also must have. You have 50% chance on critical strikes to grant yourself Might for 5 seconds, and Greatsword skills have reduced recharge, and you gain 120 power more when using Greatsword. Then Might makes right, gain health and endurance when you apply Might to yourself. This just heals you for each Might stack and grants you endurance. This got nerfed again. It was like something with 100 or a 92 last time, and now it got 64. But this is like not so important. The more important part here is that you gain more endurance to dodge more often and therefore avoid damage. This is the most important one here. Then Discipline, the main one: Warrior Sprint, Brawler's Recovery and Burst Mastery. Don't need to explain this. Burst abilities deal more damage and grant you Swiftness, which is not so needed. Then on the Spellbreaker we have No Escape. Dazes and stuns inflict Immobilize. This is great because for each stun that you have 1, 2, 3, and if you play with Pulse Charge 4, you will just oh no, I need to remove this so I can watch here. Immobilize, the enemies are not able to dodge, so your ally can also deal meanwhile within this second a lot of damage. And let's go with Auric Span. Which arena were we? Auric Span. Yeah. Okay, the next part from the Spellbreaker trait line I will explain after this gameplay again, or maybe now. Let's see, what is the enemy playing? Again a Necro, Thief and Guardian. Okay, that's fine. Thief and Guardian is fine. Let's see. First I'm going to show you again with the healing signet to see the difference, and then I'm going to swap. So against this comp I have to be going for this, that they are not playing some condition builds, so I can swap around. I'm thinking of Signet of Might because this is also an option for me, and Frenzy with this. I can stay like this. Against Deadeye, against Deadeye, the Bull Charge would work wonders. But let's see what I can get here. No, I'm gonna go with Bull Charge, just for safety reasons, because if I reveal this guy and catch him with my Bull Charge, he will be dead. Whew, I'm talking so much. Okay, let's go on. I'm ready now. If you have like this a Necro, you have to try to help him out if you're getting chased really hard. And my goal will just be to wait for the Deadeye to make a mistake, Bull Charge him, Signet of Might against the Guardian, and deal heavy damage. They are stealthing up, no? What is this guy doing? Okay. We got this guy. Oh my god, no. The damage. No. Don't go for it. No. Oh my god. That was so bad. Okay, I need to remove the Signet of Strength here, because the Deadeye seems to deal nice damage here. Against this comp, they are both playing DPS, so you can swap around again here for some more survivability, and therefore I can go now with the Ender Pain. Oh my god. I mean, he should have just go to his Shroud form and just fear the Guardian, because the Guardian has no cooldown. He had no stability. He could have easily feared him off and get the revive, but he failed this. But you can see this here. What I've done is focusing the Deadeye pretty hard, and therefore granting a nice advantage for my ally here. Let's go Ender Pain. 3 seconds. That's more than enough for me. Okay. I'm thinking of something else, but no. You can see this, my Necro, he wants to play it like this without swapping around, but I like to swap around. And I even could go with this one here, Defiant Stance. Healing coming. You will be healed by this. I will suggest this to use on the third game. This guy DC'd, or what happened? Okay, he DC'd. No, he's here. What happens? Well, what was that? It looks like he DC'd from the game, but he's still there. Okay, so now I have Ender Pain, and if they trying to catch me, I'm gonna just use it and be safe for 3 seconds, because they are both DPS players. Waiting for this. Okay, that's good. Doing this one. Trying to steal this guy's boons, interrupting him. Getting the downed guy here. Okay. No! That was so bad for me. He dodged. Blocking a little bit. This guy's done. He should have nothing left here. What?
Time to do some real damage.
Is this guy now really going to play for time or what? He dodged.
I could outrun a centaur. Still standing. Barely.
I was expecting him to port onto me, and therefore I catch him with that again. Okay, so this guy is playing Burnt Guardian, and this guy is just playing some DPS build. So it was good to go with Ender Pain, and Healing Signet is still great, because when I need it to use it, I can just activate it. But like this, you can see this, the Deadeye just porting around. He's playing Pistol Whip, so he's using the terrain here pretty nice, and therefore the Healing Signet is my choice, because I can do as well here, just kite around and heal myself up while they are doing this. And now it is important to wait for the Deadeye to waste his Shadow Stab, and once he wasted that, I have Bolt Charge to immediately engage onto him. Okay, blocking now. I don't know why my ally is just going in for this. Catching this guy. This guy. I need one more hit. One more hit. Stealing this guy's boons. Yes. Interrupting him. I wanted him to port a raid. Okay. He should be done, yes. Whew, I saved this. And you can see this 12k damage with 100 blades without having even the max might stacks. So you have on certain ways good damage output, but still you have to play around a little bit. Tweak there and now. He should not waste his Shroud form. I don't know what he's doing. By the way, you can keep your Shroud form on the next game, as I'm seeing it. I don't know if it's just a bug or something, but I've seen this. And yeah, you can see this, they're making some adjustments to the utility skills, which you should really do as well. And the problem that they have is they should normally focus me, because they can see they're getting something done against this guy, but he's playing this cancerous tanky build, so he's able to survive quite a lot, and meanwhile they have to sustain my damage, and I'm not let them get so much time to just re-sustain there. Okay, he dodged. That's okay, I just want to deal some damage. Stealing onto this guy. Okay, he will get pulled. Interrupting this guy. Okay, need to be careful now. I pulled him, he will pour back here. Easy kill, and the game is done. Okay, that's nice. Dodging onto this guy just to watch the damage. I mean, the dodges deal 1k damage, which is not so much right now, but still it allows you to be dealing some kind of damage. This guy got the max damage, wow. It was a GG, sorry I was too late to write this, I'm really sorry. Was an interesting game, and this just should show you guys that by swapping around your utility skills you can be more effective. And you can see this here, I went from what I had here, Berserker Stance and stuff like that. I went from this to this. And that's what's the strength of this 2v2 arena is, because once you see what the enemy is playing, you can swap around. I could have even gone like a Condi build and something, but this was like the best to go into it. And now my initial thought was to play around with Signet of Stamina and Signet of Might. And for two reasons. Once, against Firebrands, Signet of Might allows you to have unblockable attacks and an additional of 5 Might stacks for 6 seconds. Which means Signet of Might with Bull's Charge allows you to immediately CC the enemy Firebrand and then just deal heavy damage because they are not able to block you, Arcing Slice and stuff like that. And what I've seen is also Signet of Stamina with the Berserker Stance, because Firebrands can apply weakness to you, and the combo of this is pretty deadly because resistance and adrenaline gain. This means your F1 abilities will be maxed out the entire time. You can full counter F1, swap around F1, afterwards full counter again, and so on and so on. So this combo is pretty nice, as I've seen so far. Now against enemies who are able to kite around a lot, Healing Signet is my main thing here, because you can kite around as a Spellbreaker as well quite a lot. And otherwise, Mending is now the best choice to go, because it has short cooldown and higher base healing than this one here. The healing 230 per second, which means in 10 seconds you will get a 2300 healing, which is not so much. While with Mending you will have a 6k healing, like 3 times, no, like 2.5 times more than when you would activate this Healing Signet, or if you wait with a passive HP regeneration, and that's huge. The problem here is, of course, that you have to keep in mind it has an activation time of 1 second, and within this 1 second, if you face more advanced players, they will easily interrupt you before you can really use this. But against not so advanced players, it works pretty nice. You just have to kite around a little bit, hide, for example, like this, go with your healing skill, and you can just use it because the enemies can't chase you. And the good thing here is the damage bonus is there, which means you deal a little bit more damage again. Now, Signet of Might and Berserker Stance are optional skills. What I recommend for newer players is Signet of Stamina, allows you more dodges, and against those Condi comps it can just activate it. It has also a short cooldown now, also 1 second, or not even 1 second, and it cures all conditions, and you gain endurance 25, which means an additional dodge. And the cooldown seems not so long for me, the 40 seconds. It is just really if you have hardcore cancer comps who can Condi bomb you to use it, otherwise don't use it. Just keep it up for the endurance regeneration 50%. More dodges, more damage, more survivability, all in one. Shaking Off is the must-have, and then Berserker Stance is the thing that you can optionally change. Ender Pain, Berserker Stance, Frenzy, or if you have something who plays really weird with perma CC, go with here, Balance Stance, or the Doliac Signet. Was it? Yeah. Yeah. Stability, Stun Break, 1k healing, and extra toughness could work really nice with the Demolition's Amulet. Otherwise, Bull's Charge is still a good thing. Bull's Charge, nice CC, and it is an evade, gives you more mobility. This could be my main option still on 5v5, but on 2v2s, I don't know, I see it not so great, because if you face good allies, they will just support each other, and you will not benefit so much from it. Only for survivability if you want to run away with it. But otherwise, I would use it like this. Rampage is still the main elite skill for the Spellbreaker because of the CCs, and now you have to keep in mind dash deals damage and your auto attacks. The kick, throw boulder, and seismic leap will not deal damage. They will just grant you the boon to have increased damage, but they will just CC the enemy players, deal no damage. But it is still a good thing to retreat, or to safely stomp enemy players, or to just CC the enemy players. All in one, still pretty solid. Then to the Spellbreaker, the last things. I'm using Sun and Moon style every 5 seconds while I have my dagger. If I interrupt, I grant myself quickness, and this just allows for some more burst. I like this pretty much. Otherwise, slow counter, full counter, applies cripple and slow. It is pretty nice because with the cripple and slow you are able to catch the enemy players with your F1 abilities much better. So for not so advanced players, use slow counter in my opinion. Sun and Moon style is just for the more advanced players, I would say, because they know how to rotate fast and apply more damage. Magebane tether is also here still the main thing. You can reveal enemy players, you grant yourself more might, and you deal 10% more damage to that tethered target, which is pretty nice. And the good thing, it is unblockable, which means you can just pull people by running away and then just CC them twice, because it is a nice long ranged CC. It just makes your target not be able to retreat, run away from you, and it works pretty nice, as you saw against the Deadeye or against the enemy Guardian, because I caught the Guardian more often. And so far that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. There were not so many changes to the Spellbreakers, only the utility skills and the nerfs, but keep in mind, land your F1 abilities, CC your target properly. If you do this, you will have easy games. And keep in mind, as a Spellbreaker, you can kite around, heal yourself up while you do that, and nothing else. Now, as always, 3 of my other videos, which you can watch or not, and of course you can subscribe to my YouTube channel only if you like this video. If not, don't do it. That was Happy No with the Spellbreaker after the balance patch, and I see you in my next videos. Bye bye to all of you guys, and have a good one.